Hi everyone, on this video we're going to take a look at the saved search results and specifically the activities menu. To get to the saved results section in Adapt, you go to the search menu and select save results. So we're going to spend some time looking at the options you've got within the activities menu here. Before we do, you can see in here, this should be your list of any results you've saved in the system and the name that you called them. You've then got the number of results within that section, the date that you created that search. Any updates will then have its own date in there, and it will say created by whom, which most of them are going to be yourself. It will then advise you any searches you've made active. It will have a yes in here, as you can see here, the date that you made them active, and the refresh rate as well. So really useful, you can see that information in there. You've also got a settings cog in here, which we'll come back to very shortly. So at the moment, you're going to see all your save results in this section. So if you ever want to do anything with these searches, you always select the one you want to work on. And then you've got the choices in this menu. So at the top, we've got all our standard batch options that you have within the system. And you would have seen these in the multiple different search webinars that we've got in there. So I'm not going to spend time doing those or going through these. But you can see you've got all those options for within the activities on the save results section. Now, if we go back here, next in the list, you can either copy or move a set of search results. So these are fantastic. So copy, for example, it's going to leave the original save search in your section here, and it's going to send a copy of that over to a colleague. Move is completely picking up that search in their system and moving it to someone else, so it's no longer in your save results list. So to do either of those options, you just click here. You would then need to click on user role and put in your colleague's name. You can then either hit enter on your keyboard or click on to find, and then you'll see their name in here. So that's now picked up that search and it's sent a copy over to Alan. And we can see that if we go over to the settings cog here, it's showing currently my set of search results. But if I now go to another user and type in Alan's name and save, see how that's now got a copy sitting in there, and it's also got my name. So he knows I sent a copy over to him. So next in the list, you can also, if you want, create a duplicate of a search. So this might sometimes be useful if you want to keep that original in there, and before starting to work on the search results, you just want to keep the original, make a copy of that and start working on the results in the copies. You've always got that original in there. You've then got rename. So you just click on that and you can put the new name in here and then proceed. We've got delete, which is very important. So in the Adapt system, your save results list, they'll never delete unless you go in and manually delete them. So it's very key to try and keep this page quite tidy. You don't want kind of pages and pages of search results. You just want your key searches you're working on and any that you're continually running in here. So any that you finish with, I'd go in here, click on that particular search or searches, and then go to activities and then delete, and it will remove them from your list. Now you've actually got also the opposite in there option. So I might go, right, I've got loads in here, I might have pages, but actually I'm only working on these 4 going forward. So I can tick those 4 and select them, go to activities and click on to keep. So it will keep the 4 selected searches, but it would delete the remaining searches. So just as useful, depending on if you haven't cleared yours out for a little while. Then we've got the option in there to select 2 searches at once and then join them together to produce a third search. So if we go to join, we have got 4 options in there. So we've got combine, so that will combine the 2 searches together and it removes any duplicates from that search to create a third search. What remove will do, the removes the results in the second search from the first search to create a third search for you. Keep common only keeps results that appear in both searches, and keep unique is the opposite. It only keeps results that are in either one search or the other. So you've got 4 options to be able to join searches in different ways from there. You've then got refine. So you could have a set of results in here. So maybe if we go industrial temps. So you've got a set of results in there, but you want to go and refine it by another bit of data. So you want the 19, it's take a look at the 19 people, but you want to change something. So for your industrial temps, you might want to narrow down to a specific location for a job you're working on. So you could click it on there, go to activities, go to refine. Now, when it comes to refining, you always need to select the search type you're refining by. So as my original search was a candidate search, I'm going to always then select the candidate search again. And then when you refine, it takes you back in to your usual candidate search, as you can see. You can then add in any criteria you want to. So in this example, I'm just going to put in a postcode. And maybe if I do a slightly higher radius there, and then if I run that search, can you see how now I've got the original search here, my 19 people, and then I've got my refined search here. So out of all those people, only one person lives within that radius. So then what I could do, and you might have multiple hopefully in that list, I can then save that new search. In there I'll have my batch options, and now I've got a second search based on that criteria. So for those of you that work on jobs that are similar all the time, what you could do is run a general search, put in your criteria, the skills, job titles, etc. Keep that original, but then every time you get a new kind of set of rules around that or requirements, just keep refining each time to narrow down to your specifics in there. So you've also got rerun. So what that's going to do, it's a similar tool in a way. What you can do is click on that, see how you go back into your results, then you can go into that search again. So you've got 25 in there, go in, add in any new criteria and run the search. So you're kind of going in again with that original criteria set. So you can see I've got it in there already, and then I can add in information, rerun it, and then save a new search. So you've got refresh results. So what that will do is if you run the search, and you might have done it a couple of days ago, click on refresh, it will then rerun that search in the background and instantly will come back. And if there's any new people or new candidates that match that criteria, they will then appear in that new set of results. So you're just refreshing that search. You then got the option to highlight searches. So again, handy if you've got quite a lot of searches you're working on, but actually a couple of them are really key to you. So I could say, actually, these two are my key ones at the moment. So I can go click on that. And then if we go to highlight, and then you can pick a color, any color you like, and see it draws your attention to those pink searches. So they're my key ones that I'm working on. So it just draws your eye to them. Then at any time, you can go back in and you can remove that highlighter. So as you've seen earlier, I have got 4 searches in here. Actually 5, I think it is. Maybe 4. So we've got 4 searches, sorry, in here that have been made active at the moment. And you can see how often they're refreshing. So to make a search active, you would select that search, click on activities, click on make active, and then this option will appear in here. So what make active is basically, before we had the refresh results. So that we're clicking on that, you're manually clicking on it to refresh that search. Whereas this, you're telling the system when you want to refresh that search, how frequently, and it will automatically run that for you. So it's a fantastic tool in the system. So say I run the search and I think every day I want it to rerun itself. So I'm going to go in here and select days. So I want it to run daily. I want it to begin and be made active from tomorrow. And then you have to pick the particular time you want it to run that search and refresh. So I'd recommend to any of the larger firms out there, if you've got quite a few users, always set your times to refresh at times outside opening hours for the business. So I'm going to say 6 a.m. The interval period just means the frequency. So how frequently do you want it to rerun? So mine's daily, once every day. So I'm going to put in 1. And if you want the system to tell you that you've got new results, to pop up with a notification, always click on Notify and apply. And you can see now we've got our healthcare assistant search has been made active today, and it's going to be refreshing every day. The reason these are blue down there, that means that I have had new results in those searches, and I haven't yet clicked in to see my new results in there. So as soon as I click into a search, any candidate that's listed in blue means that I haven't seen them yet. They are new in my search. And then if you see, once I go back, if you see sales candidates is no longer blue because it knows I've clicked in, I've reviewed the search, so it's going to remove that highlight for me. So great tool as well in the system. At any time, you can go in and deactivate your search and make it inactive when you stop working on that job. You've got at the bottom here the option to refresh the screen. So that is just going to do a refresh. It's a bit like clicking on your refresh up here. It's going to refresh that page for you and pull up any new results. And then finally, you've got repossess CVs. So this section allows the user to run candidate CVs against a new set of codes that may have been added into the system. Normally in this section, you'll find, let's go back here, that the schema selection here should really default to one of these. So whichever default candidate you've had put in your system, so for example, it might be contract, it should say contract. Mine seems to be sitting on automatic, which means it's going to look at any type of candidate, no matter if they're perm, temp, or contract. So you can see here you've got 4 tick boxes and sections you can look at in here. So first of all, we've got set attributes. So this option will auto-select the information from the CV to import into the record, such as personal information, address information, and contact details. You've got interpret codes in here. So this will select codes from the CV, such as skills and job categories. You've got run business objects in there. So this option allows users to run business objects once a CV is imported. And lastly, you've got prompts for errors. So this, when selected and importing, any errors will be highlighted to you as the user. So once this has been run, it will also add a note to any journal as well in the system. Advice on this one, it's not commonly used, so please always contact your administrator to check the settings have been set correctly before you start using the Repossess CV tool. That's everything. As you can see, we've got an enormous amount of options of different things you can do with that set of results once you run them and save them in the system.